At 56, it's one of my biggest regrets.
Not going into the military?
Yeah.
Why?
It was my mother's dream.
So you from military?
No, but she felt she was Cuban, and she felt that the United States gave her a chance and took her in, that the least she could do is offer her son to fight for this country. So she used to never shut the fuck up about it.
Really?
Yeah, she never used to.
That's a dope story.
Up. But what's really crazy to me is, okay, you come to me and you go, Joey, my name is Donnell. I'm thinking of doing stand-up. I go, Donnell, what are you doing for work? I work at Rob's. I stuff shelves. I make 18 an hour. I get benefits. I go, right, listen, we're going to do a plan. We're going to get you some open mics, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then you're going to transition. You're going to look at me and say, cut it out, Negro.
Right.
How much am I going to make and how long is it going to take?
Exactly.
And I'm going to look at you and say 10 years.
Right.
To be conservative. Let's go for 10 years before you make a dime.
That's
9 out of 10 motherfuckers will go, 10 years, I ain't got 10 years for you.
Yeah.
And then one day you find yourself, you're 34 years old, and you go, fuck.
I should have.
If I would have got into that when I was, and what am I done with my life?
But you look how you flip it. It happens for a reason.
No, and I get it, but man, the idea of walking out of a motherfucker when you're 38 with full retirement benefits.
It's so funny you say that, Joey, because I actually have that. Sometimes I have that. I dream about that thought.
I dream. That's my dream.
And I was like, because I went in when I was 17. And I look at it, that's the one thing, but it's a difference from going from that 4 to that 20.
Right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know
it's
what I'm saying?
easy. We're just talking here.
We just talking like that 4.
We're just talking.
I'm looking at 16 plus, and I'm looking at a military that always yelling at me, right? Your blatant disregard for established military policies. That's every day. I'm getting letter of reprimands. Even I was mischievous. I got in a little trouble, but the military, they want you to be, for the most part, squeaky clean. And even if you're not, it's so much harder to get stripes. It's so much harder to get the accolades you need. And I'm the same way. I thought like you thought. I thought about that 20-year joint, but that 4-1 was such a grind for me, I couldn't go to the next 16.
Man.
But I respect the people that do it. And even when I meet people, you're like, man, I was in the military. I'm like, man, think our business, that might not have been the path of life. 17 go in, 20 years later, get out, 38. You really, especially Black Don't Crack, I really could have started a stand-up career then.
Getting $7,000 a month with the best insurance in the world.
Yep.
All you got to do is go down there and they'll give you a pair of teeth right there.
Right.
Anything. You have to just think about it.
Yeah.
And a lot of young kids listen to these podcasts.
Right.
And you really have to explain to them that. Let me tell you something, man. I'm 56. I still remember being 36.
Right.
That 20 went by quick in the motherfucker.
They don't see it now.
And I starved, and I slept on couches, and I took Greyhound buses.
All of that.
What's the difference? The only thing I didn't do was get shot at by some fucking dude with a towel or threw fucking a grenade at me. But in my heart, I felt like it.
Right.
When you're fucking at a Greyhound station with $4 in your pocket.
Man, I did when I found my love for comedy, I was like, this is what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of my life. And I had a pretty decent job. The job I had, benefits, everything you're talking about. And like your come up and my come up not too far, not far apart in the sense of the first thing you want to do is be able to provide for yourself. First thing you want to do, like you said, benefits, and let me get some regular shit. And as square as our lifestyle, as square as I might think, and I know probably, and like as you got older, you're like, could I have been that square motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Could I have been that? And that's not a bad life at all. And for a lot of people, the military, that's what it provided. It provided that transition for you to have a decent life. 20 years, I was like, if I started, like I said, 20 years ago, 38, started this all over, you could think that would have been a perfect situation, but then, everything happens in its due time. And I was on the buses. When I moved from DC to New York, I moved to DC to New York with $35 in my pocket. I had my military duffel bag and an alarm clock. And my man Royale Watkins had already done Def Comedy Jam. So he was under Russell Simmons' umbrella, managed by Rush Communications. Bob Sumner.
What year is this?
This was like 97, 98.
Okay.
So he already got it popping. Like for DC Comic to hear about another comic moving to New York, because everybody talked that shit. And everybody always have an excuse. I need to save up amount of money, and then I'm going to go up there.
Right.
You make a million excuses. You know, you're making a million excuses. Oh, I got to do this. I got to get my set together. No, motherfucker, you got to get on that bus.
Let's get on that bus.
And I know he was trying to punk me. Every time I see him, this nigga was happy as shit. He getting development deals and everything. He was like, yo, come up to New York. And one day I called him. I said, man, I'm moving to New York. He was like, when? I said, Friday, motherfucker. And I went on that, got down the Peter Pan Trailway. At that time, for me, it was $19. And it was, when I first went to New York, I wasn't getting no stage time. So, you know, when you leave a certain place, your money, you like a popular name in DC. So I was still a part of the DC scene, still doing the cabaret. So when I was broke, I would dip down to DC to do a show for like $500 with $20 in my pocket, knowing I had to go over there, snatch that money up, and then come back and keep on grinding until people started to take notice. And then I started to be able to do the same hustle in New York.